Kaguya Ōtsutsuki has been a conflicting figure in the Naruto fandom since her first appearance. Now, I have my own opinions on her use in the story, but that's not what this video is about. This video seeks to debunk the most annoying fan theory regarding this woman. No, not those. The theory is that she was created because Kishimoto couldn't come up with a way to defeat MaDaRa otherwise. Now, I shouldn't have to do this because a minute of serious thought about the idea should disprove that. Kishimoto isn't some rando pulled off the street to write the end of a manga he never read. He created the situation in the story himself. He wasn't blindly stacking powers on MaDaRa's head. 3 chapters before the betrayal that apparently happened because MaDaRa was too strong, MaDaRa got even more powerful by obtaining his second Rinnegan, and then he grew a third one out of nowhere. And even before both of those, he absorbed the God Tree for more power because Naruto was kicking his ass. Does that sound like something you do if the guy was already too strong for you to kill off? Besides that, Naruto and Sasuke just got new power-ups that could have been made as strong as necessary to defeat MaDaRa. Hell, he was in a prime position to be beaten but suddenly revealed his limbo ability and escaped. But no, Kishimoto decided that it would be better to replace him with someone even more powerful in order to defeat him. It also makes no sense if we consider the fact that Kishimoto wasn't creating the story blindly with no oversight. He had Shonen Jump and his editor to answer to. He'd never get away with creating a new last-minute antagonist for as dumb a reason as MaDaRa is too strong. But that might not be enough proof for some people. So instead, I'm going to go back through the story to look for evidence that not only was Kaguya not inserted into the story just to defeat the unbeatable MaDaRa Uchiha, she was planned to appear back when MaDaRa was still in one of his weakest forms in the war arc. Because MaDaRa wasn't even properly brought back to life until chapter 656. Please note that I'm writing this from what I consider least believable to most believable, and stick around to the end to hear everything. To start with, let's look at the shakier pieces of evidence. These are things that could be seen as evidence, but could also be considered too vague to really carry the idea on their own. These mostly revolve around the Gedo Mazo, or the Gedo statue. In chapter 606, MaDaRa reveals that the summoned Gedo statue is sealed within the moon, not unlike a certain princess from a certain Japanese myth. Beyond that, the presentation of the statue is actually quite similar to presentations of Princess Kaguya, which makes sense considering the Gedo Mazo is technically Kaguya's desiccated corpse. Well, she's not dead, but still. This picture is from chapter 512, by the way. But let's move on to more solid ground. Like the fact that Black Zetsu's manipulation was foreshadowed in chapter 626 when, after killing MaDaRa, Hashirama notices that he's being watched, similar to how Zetsu watched Naruto and Sasuke's first battle in the same place. When we see history from Zetsu's point of view, we learn that it was indeed him, spying on yet another set of reincarnates. Forget Kaguya being created because MaDaRa couldn't be defeated, the seeds of her twist were planted before he even began to get as overpowered as he would be. MaDaRa straight up tells Hashirama the story of her life and her motivation in chapter 646. However, personally, I think the most solid evidence for Kaguya is actually the movie, Naruto the Last. If you remember, the movie has a heavy focus on what happens after the series and features the Ōtsutsuki Clan living on the moon. It came out in Japan about 2 weeks after the last chapter of Naruto. To be more specific, it was announced in 2012 Jump Festa, which took place towards the end of the year. Now, at the most unbelievably unrealistic, if we assume that Kishimoto just came up with the idea of Kaguya, pitched it to his editor, then came up with the idea of the movie and pitched it to whoever is in charge of making the anime that week, and then they decided to announce it before they'd even begun any production of the movie, the latest chapter of the manga that was out at the time was chapter 610. The Shinobi army hadn't even showed up to help fight the Ten Tails. So unless you're going to say that they changed the plot of the entire movie, wrote, animated and voice acted all the sections of the movie referring to the Ōtsutsuki Clan and Kaguya at the last minute before releasing the movie a few weeks before the end of the manga, the idea that Kaguya was created just so MaDaRa could be defeated really doesn't have a leg to stand on. Just a reminder that this video isn't trying to prove that Kaguya was a good or bad character, or even a good or bad thing for the story. I'm not even trying to prove that she was planned by, say, the Pain arc. But can we stop peddling the ridiculous idea that she was created because Kishimoto couldn't find a way to defeat MaDaRa as anything other than a joke? If you enjoyed this video or disagree with me, please tell me your thoughts down in the comments, and while you're there, hit the like button, yes, even if you disagree with me, and subscribe for more content, and check out my channel for more Naruto videos. Thank you and good day.